Haley Grace Taylor.
Alright, welcome into probably the most random map that I've done on 1HP, Attack of the Radioactive thing. This is the first 1HP map that I've done on Infinite Warfare. I've always had a warm spot for Infinite Warfare zombies, and I think that some of the maps are some of the best that Call of Duty has ever made throughout the years. Those maps being Zombies in Spaceland, Rave in the Redwoods, and even Attack of the Radioactive thing, which might be a controversial opinion. So to get things started in the video, I wanted to explain how I was even able to get 1 HP in this video. So in order to get 1 HP on Infinite Warfare, I had to use a different program to be able to implement the game's code. This is by downloading a cheat engine. Now I know the word cheat isn't cheat engine, but I can tell you that I did not tamper with any of the cheats with the exception of reducing my health by checking this box right here and setting the value to 1 HP. Now I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Risk as he was the one that created this code so that I could be able to put it into the cheat engine. I will put his video down in the description if you'd like to use it as well. Also, if you'd like to see the raw footage of my gameplay, you can find that in the description to watch the full video. So before I start talking about the game, I would like to say that I am sorry for what you all are going to see. When using the cheat engine to set my health to 1, you will constantly see a red screen around the game, which was really hard for me to get used to. Trust me, it may look painful for you to watch, and it was painful playing it with that. So, starting on rounds 1 and 2, these rounds were just getting enough money to open the first 2 doors and bring color into the map. I also was able to build the seismic wave device by obtaining the 3 parts around the area as well as the blueprint that all stays in the same place every game, which is always good. When I put the last part in, I picked up the punch card for a later step and picked up the seismic wave device. I ended round 2 so that I could start getting more points to open up towards the other side of spawn. While I was on round 3, I got my first weapon, the Hailstorm, since my Kindle was going to run out of bullets to help me get enough points to open more of the map. I also was able to use my first fake card, Shop Class, to get a free $200. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the intro, but just like with the Black Ops 3 videos, I only used fake cards since it is basically the equivalent to classic gobblegums on Black Ops 3. Round 4 was opening the map and playing out till there were only a couple zombies left so that I could use my second fake card, Scope Dollars, and go pick up a couple items. The first was the zombie leg from the tree that you get down with a grenade, and the second being the first bomb part right in the fence. Now I have to talk with Elvira so that I can be able to get the spell book later on, so there was nothing else for me to do, so I killed my remaining zombies. Also, some of the zombies on Infinite Warfare drop backpacks full of loot, which is such a cool mechanic since I was able to get cash to open the map sooner. In this part of my run, I was able to get $250, which was very helpful to open the next barricade sooner. Now, something that wasn't a good thing added to the game, round 5 was my first Krog round, and I really hate these little fucks as a special round, since they are speedy and can dive forwards a pretty good distance to hit you. Also, I have to watch out since if a Krog gets shot up from the boss and hits me directly, I will take damage and be down. As well as once I kill a Krog, a green puddle appears and I cannot step in it or else I'll go down. Once I got that round out of the way though, I opened the next door and picked up my second bomb part under the car. Now this is where my Scope Dollars plays in, where I buy the TF-141 off the wall and start going for collateral kills. Scope Dollars, in my opinion, is the best fake card to use since if I kill multiple zombies with one shot, each kill will give me $300 and only use up one slot of my card. This gives me plenty of money for doing collaterals on round 6. I kept a few zombies so I can open up towards the beach. Before I opened the beach though, I did pick up my first chemistry station piece that you put the numbers in. When I got to the beach, I picked up the power lever and used a seismic wave device to bring the arm back up. I went over towards the bridge to go pick up the last bomb part I needed, and went back to the hand when the seismic wave device exploded to pick up the zombie hand. Now it's going to the power, so along the way I picked up another part for the chemistry station, as well as the other hand for the zombie in the trailer park. When I went to turn on the power, I continued over to the market to open up that door. Inside the market, I was able to get the last chemistry station piece, get the number for the 4 pressure gauges around the map, which in this game was 1262. And pick up the cleaver. Now it's going back towards Elvira, who needs the spell book from the same place that I picked up the punch card in the safe. Since I have had a lot of points from Scope Dollars, I went over to the magic wheel for a good weapon, and I got the MAD from it, which was super helpful against Krogs and for the boss fight. Then you hear Elvira seducing the player again.
Ooh, somebody must really want me to come out and play.
where now she needs the vial filled with cleaver kills, which is so random. The best place I've found to get kills with the cleaver is down by the beach because sometimes zombies will just hit you even if you melee them first. So all I did was use this elevation over here to have zombies either climb up or drop down to get easy kills with the cleaver with no risk. I was also able to get the second leg from killing the zombie soldier with the cleaver. Once the vial is filled, I could bring it back to Elvira so that she can come out and make one of her portals. I did not want to end the round I was on, so I brought her to the portal by spawn so that I can get the head of the zombie. Once I got out of the portal, I ran back to Elvira's couch to get the mirror for a later step. I had to keep running around so that Elvira couldn't kill any zombies, and once I got close to her, she disappeared back to her couch. Now I could switch the melee from the cleaver to the crowbar so that I could start doing the pressure gauges step to match the number that I found under the desk. These are all located in the room that has the crowbar, near Quickies, in the power room, and behind the garage. The crowbar is also important so that I can get the last two mirrors I need so that I can get the garage key. The first is by mailing this car right here in between the market and the garage to make it fall down so that I could be able to pick it up. And the other one is in the trailer park bathroom where I just meleeed this mirror right here to get the shard of the mirror. So one more part that I need before I start the laser step is the last zombie part, which is the torso found in the market. In order to get this part, I have to pick up the component to make the freeze trap, which is right off to the side of the garage, and use the trap. Once the trap is done, I can melee the pig in front of me with the crowbar so that I can pick up the torso. So at this moment, I have a battery right at the bottom left you can see, and I can bring this to one of two locations, which the first is by the power station, and the second is over by the motel. I used my first battery by the power to see if I got the equation, but with my luck, I was not able to get it, so I needed a second battery so that I could get it by the motel. But I was now able to place all of my zombie pieces, all three of the mirrors that I picked up, and the punch guard to get the garage key. This step is always easy since the numbers will always be the same but will be in a different order every game. My order was 4, 5, 3, 6, 8 to form the zombie. And then I have to input the code again, but backwards. So in this game, it was 86354 to obtain the key. Now with the key, I can open up the garage door, so while I was going there, I made sure to get the bomb code, which in this game was 85731. With the garage open, I can get the other pages of the spellbook, which I don't know if it was really necessary, but I picked them up anyway, and crafted the chemistry station. Now for the next step, which is the chemistry step. Which, in my opinion, I think this should be everybody's least favorite step if they have a brain. I figured out my chemical equation was 3,4-dinitroxymethylpropane by getting another battery and using it in the other location by the motel in the reception room. This step honestly just makes no sense at all. First, you have to find out what color to set your game to. You figure that out by going around the map, finding which number does not have a dash through the equals sign when going through the red, green, and blue filters. In my game, I had the 8, which was under the bridge, that didn't have a dash through all three filters, so I can use that number to then multiply that with a number where you put the battery in to get the reaction on the wall, which in this game was 15. So now 8 times 15 is 120, so I have to go back to Elvira's screen to see which color is 120, which I figured out that color is blue. Now with the blue filter, I can go back to spawn to look at this chart right here to see what number insect repellent is. And why it is important to look at this specific chemical is because Menobot, a well-known player in the Infinite Warfare scene, has created this cheat sheet so I can get the numbers I need to put in the chemistry station later. So before I said my chemical reaction was 3,4-dinitroxymethylpropane, it's harder than it looks to say. So if you look at this cheat sheet, I only have to focus on these numbers that fit in this square that I am showing you since the insect repellent is 12. Based off adding the number on the top and the number on the left when looking at the chemical chart. And this is the only chemical reaction that requires you to get 4 sets of items instead of 3, so it's a little bit more work in the game. The first set is quarters, which is found by hitting this payphone with the crowbar, as well as the racing fuel, which is right in front of the gas station, so pretty easy. Now that I got the number from the cheat sheet, I can subtract 21 by 8, because that was the number that I found by the bridge to get 13 to make formaldehyde. The next set, I need pennies, which can be found by hitting the cash register with the crowbar, and vodka, which is also found in the market. And then I do the same process where I find my next number, which is 17, and then subtract it by 8 to get acetaldehyde. Thanks, Julia McGill, for telling me how to say that chemical correctly. Now, with these two chemicals I made, I now have to add it with detergent, which is easy to find because that's also in the market. And then same process again. So the number for this is 37, and then subtract it by 8 so that I can get aldehyde sludge. Then the last set I have to do is getting the nail polish remover, which is found in the reception room, and using the aldehyde sludge to finally make my compound 3,4-dinitroxymethylpropane. With that chemical reaction, I could finally put it into the bomb, as well as the 3 bomb parts that I found earlier in the video, and now I can start up the boss fight whenever I want. I did play out a few rounds so that I could be able to set up with having a pack-a-punch weapon, as well as getting all 5 of my perks. While playing a few rounds, I wanted to get a reliable second weapon with the MAD that I got earlier, and got the VPR, which definitely does not disappoint at all. So now that I can pack-a-punch that weapon, I can now have that reliable weapon I've been looking for. And then talking about the perks, for my 5 perks, I chose Up and Atoms to get an extra revive, which I think is a must-buy perk, Bang Bangs to help make my VPR stronger, Deadeye Dewdrops, which might be a little surprising, but this perk is actually very helpful by making the VPR have no recoil at all, Quickies for fast reload, and Racing Stripes so that I can run faster and longer. With all of that set up, I can go back to the garage to activate the bomb and start up the boss fight. So to start off, the boss fight, I would say, has 4 phases to it. So let's talk about phase 1. Phase 1 is bringing the bomb all the way from one side of the beach to the other side where the boss is. This is probably the hardest part of the boss fight, since I have to avoid zombies, I have to avoid Krogs, and I have to avoid fireballs in the sky. Also, it doesn't help that this bomb takes like 10 years to get up to the boss. But once I got to the boss, I was able to start phase 2, which is shooting the boss's weak spot with the cannons 3 times. Overall, this step is never really too hard for me. I did miss a couple times, but I got that phase done relatively quickly. Now the next phase requires me to initiate the bomb sequence right by the beach and play through shooting all through the zombies and Krogs that appear. This phase takes a little bit longer than the other phases, but the overall objective is that the boss will cover the map with its radioactive waste and cover up everywhere except for the very back of the area. Basically, to go more in depth, the boss will fire 2 sets of Krogs and then take up another area with its radioactive waste. It will do this 3 times, so 3 sets of 2 Krogs, so 6 total. After that is all set, comes the final part with dodging lasers. Not only the lasers though, but the fireballs that the boss shoots as well. So the best way that I found by avoiding the fireballs is to stand right in the middle of the arena, let it shoot the fireballs, quickly dodge to the side, and then continue off to the end. Now I can enter the bomb and put in the code that I got from the safe earlier, 85731, and boom, that's the Easter egg right there. So like I said earlier in this video, if you'd like to see the raw footage of me completing this game, you can find that in the description. Also, you can find my socials such as Twitch and Discord in the description if you'd like to come and support me through more 1 HP attempts. I would like to say that I'm sorry, since I haven't been around recently. I've had a lot jam-packed, as well as I was supposed to actually have a video before this one, but that one's on halt right now, but I'm hoping to have that video up very soon. Also, I just got back to school, and I've been working hard so that I could become a certified teacher, but I hope that you can all bear with me with that. But other than that, I'd like to thank all of you for joining in this video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to help my channel out, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you in another video. Bye!